Hello and welcome back to 54 Words. This is my first video in some time. I think the last one I did was when I read loads of books and then worked out which one was best. Now I'm going to try and categorize books really redundantly so that you might want to read them, if that makes sense. Now, full disclosure, some of these will overlap, but if you're looking for a certain theme, then hopefully this video is for you and what you should read next. So first up, I categorize this as powerful teenagers / young adults. First up, we have Powerless, which pretty much speaks for itself. I mean, everyone else in the district. I just read Sunrise on the Reaping, so forgive me. Everything's now, capital versus everyone else. Featuring Payton and Kai. It's a bit of rivals to lovers, I would say. They've got really good banter, but she is the one that is powerless. And everyone else has powers. On the other hand, we have Red Queen, which I think people have said these two books, if you enjoy one, I think you enjoy the other. This one is part of a longer series. So Powerless is 3. This one is, I think, 4. Queen is more of a battle against red and silver people. There's things where I've read it and I have absolutely no idea what happens. It's similar to Powerless, there's a bit of a hierarchy. The silver have godlike superpowers, and then Maya comes along and then she possesses, a deadly power. And then, obviously, the most iconic Shatter Me. Just got Watch Me, has just been released, which I'm very, very excited about. So Shatter Me is about a girl who is held captive because she's too powerful, and you kind of get an insight into her mind. She's writing, and we meet the internet's favourite book boyfriend, Aaron Warner. This is another one featuring powers. And yeah, Watch Me's out now, I think, so I need to get my glory little hamster hands on that. Big series. Big series. Up, we're going to talk vampires. So vampire series. I have been on the lookout for a love triangle vampire diaries vibe. I should have included it. I can't be asked to get up, but the Vampire Diaries book is on there. Okay. So, I've sifted through and tried and found books that have vampires in. Now, From Blood and Ash is perhaps a bit more of a reach. Vampire-like creatures in it. God, this book is so heavy. I have the others there. I've got to the War of Two Queens and have given up. Currently, I'm taking a break from it. I'll come back to it. Also, it's in beautiful hardcover, so it needs to be read. Now, this is a bit of a wild card. This is from a notoriously famous romance writer. This is her fantasy romance. So normally she writes a lot about STEM, so the love hypothesis. Ali Hazelwood, I absolutely adore her. And I'm just speaking. There could be facts that say she's written other fantasy romance, but from everything I read online, and we know how reliable the internet sources are, this was the first one. And I believe she's got one coming out with Mate. And I was talking to a book bestie about how I have no idea what Mate is about, whether it's a follow-on. I couldn't really find it until I Googled it. I love this. I literally could not put it down, but I also could put the love hypothesis down. Ali Hazelwood is just so good at writing. So this one features vampires and werewolves. So bonus, Twilight era. Yeah, if you love Twilight, come on. I know Twilight, but I liked it. I actually haven't read this, full disclosure. I bought this the other day in a really nice bookshop in Edinburgh, and apparently it's really, really good. So I can't comment on this, full disclosure. I have to be honest with you. I don't know what happens. I just know it's about vampires. Apparently it's super cool. I got Serpent and the Wings of Night. I believe this is a duology. I read the second one when I was on holiday. Very, very nice. Vampires, great enemies to lovers story. Fantastic. My biggest one perhaps we'll do next is dragons. Now, I don't have this one on me, so let's pretend it's here. Promised in Fire has dragons in it. And if you are vibing with a dragon being a love interest, look, I'm in. I have feelings for Tarn that I can't really explain, and Promising Fire just kind of does that solid, does me some justice. What I also have is When the Moon Hatched. That also features dragons. I mean, that was a classic. Everyone loved it when it came out, and I believe the second one is coming out very soon as well. Obviously, naturally, Fourth Wing. My Sixth accent's so strong when I say Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing, iconic. Dragons. Enemies to lovers. I must go on about this book. I think I probably mention this book once a day. I probably do. Anyway, so my boyfriend is tired of hearing about it. My friends are probably tired of hearing about it. I've even got a tattoo of it. Whoa, oh, look at my veins there. I even have a tattoo of Tarn. Now, some have said that it could be Wyvern, because he's only got 2 legs. The secret is the 2 legs are hidden and you cannot see them in the tattoo. That's what I'm telling myself. And back. I was talking to one of my best friends on a little catch up, and you can guess what came up. Fourth Wing, which is our favourite book ever. Chantel, shout out. I love you. I was talking about dragons as well, wasn't I? Beautiful. Now, on to witches. I am not necessarily someone that goes for books. Also, I've got pasta cooking. The dime's going to go off any time, and then you're going to see me probably eat pasta. I am not huge on witches. Don't dislike them. I've just never really read books on it, but it is something I want to get more into. So 2 books that I've read that I really like that have witches in are The Serpent and Dove, which is a series, and then obviously The Crimson Moth, which is a real big classic at the minute. I do believe the second one is out. I haven't read it yet. It's on my list. God, if another video, I just need to put out all the books that are on my to be read list and see if they are as tall as me, because I'm getting bad. But those 2 books are about witches. Let's do Gothic elements. So Gothic books. So one I'm going to talk about is Phantasma. Phantasma really, really surprised me. I was literally just saying to my friend how after Fourth Wing and after ACOTAR and after everything, I've really struggled to, love a book as much. Like, really been impossible. But Phantasma really, really changed that for me. I thought it was really, really good. I'm desperate for the second one to come out with, and that was very Gothic. Another book that enthralled me was Belladonna. Now, I think I've done a video on this series. It was unreal. And Grace has just released a new one. It's like a short story. Forgive me if it's wrong. I still need to read that, but the series are behind me. I will go down for this book. This was such a good series. It had me on edge. It was different to everything I've read. And I picked up like £2 in a bookstore in Oxford or Cambridge. Big book. So that's my 2 Gothic romances. I love a Gothic romance. Right, pirates. I only have one in the Pirates era, but that falls under a different category. I'm putting Pirates, Daughter of the Pirate King. Oh, I believe it is part of a series. I should definitely do more research before I enter these things. It was good. My friend Bryony, Bryony, I love you, recommended this, or she mentioned it to me once. I think it's very, very good. Worth a read. I gotta go get my pasta. Right, I'm back. I have pasta. Next up, let's talk fairies / fairy tales. Now, Caraval and that series would fit into this, but I've put it in another genre. Also, actually, Phantasma could be in too, so they're all crossing over. But for fairy tales, I've got The Cruel Prince, naturally. Really good. Enemies to Lovers, like really, really well done. Enemies to Lovers. Like, I know people talk a lot about Enemies to Lovers versus Rivals to Lovers. I was at a point so confused how Cardan would end up being the lover. Like, he is a piece of work. I end up loving him, but he's properly well done. Imagine like Zodiac Academy's done. I've only read 2 books of that, but like, you're not rooting for anyone. And you ain't rooting for Cardan. He's monstrous, but he redeems himself. Secondly, one of my favorites of all time is Once Upon a Broken Heart. Literally unreal. Such a good series. I love Jax. It's based on fairy tales. I would say you've got Evangeline, who really believes in happily ever after, wants that perfect life, and then she meets Jax. And Apollo, when I see you, Apollo. My French actually got crazy. Just, let me just back that down. And then thirdly, we have the Song of Silver Flame Like Night. As you can tell from me reading the book like a robot, I have not read this yet. My boyfriend bought me the second book when we went to Waterstones, and I realised it was a sequel. So I bought the first one. Now I've seen really good reviews for this, and it's got like fables, magicians in, from what I gather. I could be wrong, because naturally I'm wrong most of the time. I'll put this under magic, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. The next category, oh my god, I'm gonna choke on pasta. It's just spat everywhere as well, all of my books. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have put Phantasm. No, I made a choice. Next up is gameplay. So obviously I don't have Caravel, I have it only as an ebook, please ignore this. Legendary, Caravel, Finale, really good books. For me, not as good as Once Upon a Broken Heart, because as I said to Chantel earlier, there is an era of books where I was like obsessed. But I just got back into reading. Fourth Wing era, Once Upon a Broken Heart was part of that, so we vibe. Gameplay, really good. The Inheritance games are so good. And dare I say it, spoiler, maybe, depends. If you love The Summer I Turned Pretty and you love The Vampire Diaries, someone just text me, and you like a bit of mystery, this I would argue is a love triangle between Grayson and Jameson. Now this could be spoiler, so maybe astute it from the brain. Astute. I have read the first 3. Now I thought it was a trilogy, and I thought I was going to get some answers by the last one, but no. Now I must meet the brothers Hawthorne, and I think there's another one coming out. Surely that must be the end of it. And it's not that I think they're bad books, that I want it to end. Well, no, I wanted it to end because I need to know what happens. I need to know who she's going to end up with. And I swear to God, Jameson is great. But damn it, I wanted to end up with the more grumpier one. Conrad, Damon, Cole, Grayson. I just love the tension in it. I think it's a really well written book. I love the plot twists. I love how I have no idea really what's going on, because I didn't even know this had multiple books to it. I only found out literally because of this. I thought I was going in a trilogy read, but I just need to know. I need to know who she ends up with. I need to know what the hell's going on. Really good books. Next up, I'm going to put this as mythology. It's a mythology. Perhaps it's too bad. Perhaps they both need their certain thing, but you'll get the vibe. So Fate Inked in Blood. Really good world building. I liked it. Lovely cover. Now the next 2 for me are 5-star reads. Blood of Hercules. Now I saw someone recommend this to me if you like Fourth Wing, because it's also got like a War College vibe. Also in first person, so you get an insight into her. I swear to God, I read this as the Blood of Hercules and didn't realise Hercules would be in it. I actually thought, I saw someone say something calling her by her name. This could be a spoiler. If you are like me to read the title, of course, this is a retelling of Hercules. And I was like, oh, someone's posted that. That's a spoiler. So anyway, Blood of Hercules, really, really good. Takes place at War College. A really, really tough life. Now, I feel she really, really suffers. I feel like everyone's pretty damn mean to her. A bit like the Cruel Prince, to be honest. But her, like, attitude, her vibe, it's really, really funny. And I think it sticks quite well to Greek mythology. If you knew it was Hercules. But also, I got drunk while reading this and damaged the cover, and I'll never forgive myself. Literally, let me open it up and see how beautiful it is. Like, look at that. I don't want to read that in case I summon something, but nice. Like, even that's a marvelly effect. Also, a talking snake, which does not give me Tarn vibes, but there's that kind of relationship where they speak through the mind. Get why people relate, that this is the closest thing I've read that could be like Fourth Wing without dragons, with other stuff. Thirdly, in my mythology, is literally about like the gods and monsters. Azrael, there's only 3 books out at the minute. The fourth one's coming out. This is unreal. I love this. Really, really good if you'd like the Crescent City series. Main characters are quite similar in a way, but I honestly love anything that's gods and devils, and like I loved Lucifer, Supernatural. Like, yeah, I love a good versus evil where the lines are blurred. So you've got Samkiel, and then you've got Diana. And Diana's is like a turn on the head. It's almost enemies to lovers, but she is the bad one. Honestly, like hiccups. It's so well done. Yes. So what do we think of the shirt? I was like, could not sleep. I could not sleep one night, and I bought the shirt. I think really. This is me, really sad. The last category, probably the most popular, probably with the most books, be Fae. Now, I'm definitely missing a lot. These are just the ones I have. Dare say it, probably I'll repeat the same recommendations because this is who I am and I can't change. Throne of Glass, Fae. Need words, read it. Just please read it. But also dedicate a large portion of your life because it will take it over and then you'll just never be the same again. Keeping on Sarah J. Maas, we'll go for... Hopefully I can edit that. I actually have no idea where I can do that. ACOTAR, A Court of Thorn and Roses. It's like, what the hell is this? It's obviously very Fae. It's great. But you probably know all about it, right? Because that's like one of the biggest on Book Talk. Feyre. And Tamlin, that's how the story starts, and no spoilies, so just read it. I loved it. And damn it, I want to go to a fantasy ball. So bad. Also, Sarah J. Maas is the House of Earth and Blood. House. Oh my god, this series, the Crescent City series, I do have them all. I should have really given the first one. This is the third one. But it's not as pretty as this. This one's very pretty. This features Fae. Even on the back, think of Game of Thrones meets Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Really similar vibes to the Book of Azrael. It's just like good versus evil. And then we've got Guild, which features Fae. Now, I am about to start the 3rd book of this series. I really, really love it. I really buy the series. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is a nice, reasonable size. And then you know when it gets to the series, when you know gonna go down, like you can see them there, they grow, and you're like, oh, I can't say. You know, stuff is gonna go down. I know something that is coming. Very nice book. Yeah, similar vibes to ACOTAR in a way. Not really. It's quite hard to place this one because it's quite dark. I did see a spoiler. Don't look ahead on the book covers because I was like, oh, I'm going to buy ahead. I'm going to buy all the series and save myself money. Like secondhand versions of the books. They're quite hard to come by, firstly. I don't know why. And secondly, I do know why they're really popular. Who am I? So yeah, I went to buy ahead and to look at the covers. And at the top of it, up here, was a bang spoiler on the 4th one. And it's no one's fault. Because you're supposed to, I get it. just don't look ahead. Never look ahead. Never look at any cover unless you're reading it. Do it all the time and it'll have a spoiler. But this one's a big spoiler. Anyway, yes. And then, last but not least, The Dawn of Onyx, which I have just started reading. So yet again, I'm going off other people's recommendations here, but I did see if you liked other Fae stuff like A Court of Thorns and Roses, and even if you like Fourth Wing, this is a really, really good substitute. Fill the gaps in your soul. Well, you miss it. Anyway, I bought this the other day. I had to give it all up to read the new Hunger Games. Just started it again, and I think it is honestly great. I'm really, really enjoying it so far, and it's one of those you just don't want to put down. Like every waking moment, I'm reading. I'm really, really enjoying it. And then after that, I will begin this series, or I'll continue Guild, or I'll just, stare at the wall because I can't stop thinking about Hamish's suffering. Anyway, so that is my chopping board. That is basically, if you want a book that comes under one of those genres, I hope this helped. If you're looking for more Fae books, if you're looking for vampire books, if you're looking for fairies, they're all just books I love, and I'll take any chance to speak about books. So even if this video is really boring, I'm just happy I did it.